Welcome back, guys, to my Let's Play, where we left off. Day 2. Holy crap, we have moved to the next chapter. Also, we are at the Voodoo Museum, talking to the curator. I think that's right. I could be wrong. Let me know if I am incorrect. We just ended off as historical voodoo. We learned some pretty interesting things about voodoo. Stuff I haven't known. But let's continue onward and learn a little bit more about historical roots of voodoo.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
Interesting. Well, let's continue.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou Saint John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Zombie. Huh. Sorry, just... You got the zombies of the undead, and you got the zombie, which is... snake. It's interesting. Let's keep going.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
I think I've heard that name. Possibly? Beginning of day 2? Oh, there it is. We can learn more about her. Yeah, let's learn about her.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveau's, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooans in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However, she achieved it.
I agree, that is very cool.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously, very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain. If she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living.
You know, just got tossed out, which is interesting because the crime scene was taking place on that beach. I wonder if the similar things happened at the beach with the whole dance and all that stuff. It's kind of curious. Let's see if there's anything else.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented hundreds, if not thousands of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of voodoo.
I think he's done, but let's try again.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when the widow Paris got old. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Okay, I betcha it's either the tomb with the angel or the tomb that had the writing on it. We'll have to go back and check that out.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
You have heard everything about Marie Laveau that a layman might expect to understand.
Okay, so no more. Let's just quickly double check.
Tell me,
You,
Historical.
tell me more about historical voodoo.
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more information.
Okay, so let's go current.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or greenery. That kind of practice is actually called voodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling greenery, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks.
Cool, good to know.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
You have tapped my resources.
Okay, so we're done with him. Let's go hoodoo, which I did not know the difference category of voodoo.
What exactly is hoodoo?
Voodoo refers to magic folk traditions of the South. Voodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the Grigri are similar, but Voodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
Is there anything else I should know about voodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Voodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
Is there anything else?
Not if you...
Okay, so we're basically done with him. That was a lot. My brain is kind of tingling a little. Learned a lot from that. Let's show him the items. Particularly the scale.
Perhaps Gabriel should learn more about the scale before showing it to anyone.
No, I think he's the perfect gentleman to show the scale, since he made no snakes. Let's show him these graffiti thingies.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
No. They look like nonsense to me. Where did you get them, if I might inquire?
I saw them scribbled somewhere. Just graffiti, I guess.
I see. By the way, I forgot to warn you, Mr. Knight. The local cemeteries are quite dangerous. Muggers, vandals. I would avoid going there alone, if I were you.
Really? Thanks for the advice.
That sounds kind of like a threat. I think he knows where that is, but won't tell me. Let's just keep shoving information down
Do
him.
these marks look familiar?
They look like the scribbling of a child to me.
Okay, thanks. Do these marks look familiar?
They look...
Okay.
I'm curious. Go show him the sketchbook.
Does this mean anything to you?
I cannot say that it does.
So no. Anything else we show him? Where was this again?
The letter is addressed to
Yeah, I
Hein.
don't think he'll know that. You know what? We're gonna show him the, that. He may know a little bit about it.
Could you look at this and tell me if you recognize anything about the ritual?
This is truly offensive. This is from one of those recent killings, is it not?
Well, actually,
But police already know that this so-called voodoo ritual is fake. Voodoo is a respectable religion. This kind of thing has nothing to do with voodoo in this city.
fine. Let's say that's true. Are you sure there's nothing about the items in this photo?
There is nothing about this sickness that I would identify as voodoo. Nothing.
Thanks for looking then.
He got very aggressive. I'm wondering if that's the hoodoo then, rather than the voodoo. Yeah, I don't know. We'll show him the picture.
Does this mean anything?
No. Yeah, I think that's
This is the first
Thank
page.
you. I think that's everything then. Let's look around.
A very large, very formidable looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
That must be Marie Lavon.
The back wall displays various voodoo items such as a feathered apple, large elaborate. A counter at the back displays brochures and a donation basket.
Yeah, we looked at this. I don't think there's anywhere else I can really go in here. No. You know, I think that's everything. He's...
On the table is a smart
Charm?
I think we can leave. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think.
Thanks a lot. Bye now.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Okay, let's go to the drugstore. Maybe... Oh, and there's the place. Maybe he'll know a little bit more now.
Hello.
Oh! The puppy.
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker. ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a slip-knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink in weeks.
Oh, don't that beat all? You're gonna need some easy night candles then.
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosaries are good, sure enough. But you burn those candles too, and you're gonna whip any old no-sleep Grigri, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them round to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dames. Oh, I've been in misery.
You put 9 pinheads up in a little box, add a pinch of graveyard dust, and put it under her front porch step. That'll turn the trick back on Mrs. Lefebvre, and she'll be the one with the bellyache. I have the pins and the dust right here if you want them.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though it don't hurt to be proactive none either, now does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It is nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
Okay. I know not to anger old ladies who know voodoo. Let's bug him about that.
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
What did you mean when you said Gabriel?
Oh, right.
You did.
You heard wrong.
Yeah, I guess we learned it from him. Derp. Sorry, it's been a while. Oh, that was embarrassing. Let's ask about the Madame
That customer of yours,
Whatever.
the little old lady,
Customer?
the woman I saw in here, Madame Cazeneuve, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
Oh, come on, I'm gonna beat it out of you.
It's important that I talk to Madame Cazeneuve. You see, I'm doing some research and
I can't tell you anything about her. I can't.
Okay, so he can't squeal. Let's show him. Let's see if I get anything out of him. Unless I did already.
Do you know anything about snake scales?
I got some snake root and snake powder, but I order them wholesale. I don't handle snakes. I don't like them at all.
Okay, I don't think I can get far with
This
him.
is the...
Yes, thank you. Let's show him.
Do you know anything about these crosses? I think there's some kind of code.
Looks like a lot of hen tracks to me, man.
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar at all, sir.
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar.
I don't think he's gonna be much help, but I'm gonna get as much out of him as I can.
Gabriel doesn't want a sketch.
Does this mean anything to you?
I don't.
I guess I could show him the picture of the murder.
Look at the voodoo paraphernalia around the body in the photograph. Are you sure you can't tell me anything about it?
No, I don't know anything about it. Nothing.
Oh, he got grumpy there. You know what, let's show him the gift certificate. Maybe I can bribe him.
Does this mean
I don't.
No. Okay, I don't think he's gonna be much use. You know what? I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you do, like, subscribe. Definitely comment as well. I'd like to hear some feedback. And yeah, once again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.